What is going on, Nexus crew? Get ready, because the news cycle is absolutely exploding today, and we've got the inside scoop on some major developments that you absolutely cannot miss. We're diving headfirst into the gaming universe to bring you the most crucial updates, the biggest shakeups, and the stories that are already defining the future. From massive studio shifts to game-changing development philosophies, if it's happening, we're breaking it down for you right here, right now. You're not going to want to miss a single second of this, so buckle up, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's get into it. First up, we're talking about the fallout from a significant game's performance and how it's leading to a major rethink in how games are developed and tested at one of the biggest publishers out there. This isn't just about one game, it's about a new era of oversight and a commitment to learning from every single experience, good or bad. Get ready for some candid insights. Next, we're diving even deeper into that same publisher's ambitious, and perhaps rocky, journey into the live service arena. We've got numbers that tell a story of cancellations and re-strategizing, but the message from the top brass is clear. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality and diversity of experiences. We'll unpack what this means for the future of their online offerings and how they plan to navigate this complex landscape moving forward. Stay tuned, because this is a big one. And the conversations about development don't stop there. We're shifting gears to explore how creative freedom is being balanced with essential business considerations within PlayStation Studios. What does it take to foster innovation while ensuring projects meet strategic goals? We'll hear directly from the teams about their approach to striking that delicate balance, especially in the wake of recent challenges. This is a fascinating look behind the curtain at how creative visions are nurtured and managed. Finally, we're circling back to that pivotal moment, 1 year after a major gaming misstep. What critical lessons have been learned, and how are they being applied to avoid future costly errors? We'll get the executive perspective on this crucial learning curve and what it signals for the company's direction. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you don't miss any of these essential updates. Sony's strategic pivot, lessons from failure. Sony's recent struggles with live service titles, particularly the high-profile failure of Concord, have spurred significant internal reflection, leading to a renewed emphasis on rigorous development oversight. Hermen Hulst, the head of Sony Interactive Entertainment Studio Business Group, has articulated a clear mandate for PlayStation Studios: embrace ambition, but learn to fail faster and cheaper. This strategic recalibration stems directly from the lessons learned after Concord's abrupt shutdown, a mere 2 weeks after its launch, marking it as one of Sony's most prominent recent commercial disappointments. Hulst emphasized in a Financial Times interview that the reception of Concord underscored the necessity for more robust and frequent testing throughout the development cycle. We have since put in place much more rigorous and more frequent testing in very many different ways, Hulst stated, highlighting that the experience has galvanized the organization to understand the critical importance of such oversight. The goal, as outlined by Hulst, is not to stifle creativity or encourage teams to play it safe, but rather to foster an environment where innovative ideas can be tested, iterated upon, and, if they prove unviable, be identified and addressed early in the development process, minimizing wasted resources and potential future failures. This philosophy aims to balance the desire for groundbreaking new franchises with the practical realities of game development, ensuring that ambitious projects don't become costly liabilities. The publisher's commitment to live service games remains, but Hulst clarified that the focus is shifting from sheer quantity to the diversity of player experiences and the cultivation of strong communities. This indicates a more nuanced approach to the genre, prioritizing quality and player engagement over a broad, potentially unfocused, rollout of online titles. The future of Sony's live service ambitions includes titles like Bungie's Marathon, which has faced its own development hurdles and delays, underscoring the ongoing challenges in this competitive market. The company's proactive stance on refining its development processes, driven by the stark lessons from Concord, signals a potential turning point in how PlayStation approaches its ambitious gaming portfolio. This strategic shift is resonating with industry observers and the gaming community alike, who are keenly watching how Sony integrates these new oversight measures into its development pipeline. But what does this mean for Sony's overall live service strategy, especially after a significant number of planned titles were canceled? We're about to dive into that. PlayStation's live service gamble, a numbers game. Sony's ambitious push into the live service gaming market, initially envisioned with a target of 12 releases by 2025, has encountered significant turbulence. As of the current year, only one of these titles, Helldivers 2, has achieved notable success, while a staggering 8 have been cancelled prior to release. This reality starkly contrasts with the publisher's historical strength in delivering critically acclaimed single-player experiences, a legacy that many feel has been sidelined in favor of the live service model for the PlayStation 5. The strategic pivot has left the current generation console with a perceived deficit in high-quality, first-party exclusives, prompting questions about the viability and execution of this new direction. Despite this challenging landscape, Hermen Hulst, CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment Studio Business Group, has offered a candid perspective, suggesting that the sheer number of live service games is not the primary metric for success. The number of live service releases is not so important, Hulst told the Financial Times. What is important to me is having a diverse set of player experiences and a set of communities. This statement implies a strategic reevaluation, moving away from a volume-based approach towards a more curated selection of titles that foster distinct player communities and offer varied gameplay experiences. Instead of abandoning the live service model altogether, Hulst advocates for a more agile development process, emphasizing the need to fail early and cheaply. This means implementing more rigorous and frequent testing, fostering greater collaboration between studios, and ensuring closer executive oversight to identify potential issues before they escalate. The aim is to transform large-scale failures, like Concord or the canceled The Last of Us Online, into smaller, more manageable learning opportunities. This approach, while acknowledging past setbacks, signals Sony's continued commitment to the live service genre, albeit with a refined strategy. The company's ability to leverage lessons learned from these experiences, coupled with its historical success in developing compelling narratives and gameplay, will be crucial in shaping the future of its exclusive offerings and its standing in the competitive gaming market. The ongoing development of titles like Bungie's Marathon, despite its own delays, further illustrates the complexities and potential pitfalls inherent in this genre, making Sony's adaptive strategy all the more critical. This strategic shift is drawing considerable attention, as the industry watches to see if Sony can successfully pivot its development focus and regain its footing in the competitive live service arena. While the strategy for live service games is being redefined, how are Sony studios balancing the drive for innovation with the practical demands of the business? Let's explore that. Creative autonomy versus business acumen, PlayStation's balancing act. In the wake of several high-profile project cancellations and the underperformance of titles like Concord, PlayStation Studios is actively seeking a more harmonious integration of creative vision and business strategy. This recalibration is particularly relevant for studios like Team Asobi, the developers behind the critically acclaimed Astro Bot series. Nicholas Dowsett, Team Asobi's creative director, shared insights into the studio's approach, highlighting a conscious effort to maintain a delicate balance between fostering creative freedom and adhering to broader business objectives. Dowsett noted that while his team has largely avoided significant friction between creative pursuits and business decisions, a clear channel for communication would be essential if such conflicts were to arise. If the creative side started feeling ostracized or penalized. Between us, we'd have that conversation, Dowsett explained, emphasizing that such issues would inevitably escalate if not addressed proactively. The success of Team Asobi, a studio of around 60 employees, is partly attributed by art director Sebastian Bruckner to its intimate team structure. Bruckner suggested that smaller studios benefit from a level of camaraderie and direct communication that can be difficult to replicate in larger organizations, which often comprise 200 to 350 individuals. This close-knit environment, he believes, is crucial for maintaining creative synergy. Hermen Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, echoed these sentiments, reiterating the company's desire for its development teams to take calculated risks rather than always playing it safe. His guiding principle remains, "I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply." This philosophy underscores a commitment to learning from every development cycle, regardless of the outcome. The recent emphasis on more rigorous and frequent testing across all PlayStation studios is a direct result of lessons learned from past projects, including the significant number of live service game cancellations. Hulst also clarified Sony's evolving perspective on live service releases, stating, "The number of live service releases is not so important. What is important to me is having a diverse set of player experiences and a set of communities." Industry analysts, such as Robin Zhu from Bernstein, view the challenges faced by Sony, particularly with Concord, as a crucial learning experience that could ultimately strengthen the company's long-term prospects. Zhu suggests that Sony's continued success hinges on its ability to remain true to the core principles that established PlayStation's unique identity and market appeal. The company's approach to developing new intellectual property is also described as highly intentional, with a focus on understanding how nascent concepts can evolve into iconic franchises that extend beyond the gaming medium. This internal dialogue between creativity and commerce is a critical factor in shaping the future of PlayStation's game development pipeline. As we reflect on these internal strategies, let's turn our attention to a broader industry context. What has Sony learned, specifically 1 year after a major gaming misstep? We'll break that down next. 1 year on, Sony's post-Concord reckoning and industry ripples. Exactly 1 year after the commercial failure of Concord, PlayStation Studios head Hermen Hulst has detailed the significant lessons learned and the strategic adjustments implemented within Sony's development ecosystem. The $200 million blunder served as a harsh but valuable teacher, prompting a fundamental shift in how the company approaches game development, particularly concerning live service titles. "I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply," Hulst stated in an interview with the Financial Times. This mantra encapsulates the new philosophy: encourage bold creative swings while ensuring that potential failures are identified and addressed with minimal resource expenditure. To achieve this, Sony has enhanced internal communication and collaboration, fostering more information sharing between studios and executive leadership. Crucially, the company has instituted more rigorous and more frequent testing in very many different ways, a direct response to the oversights that contributed to Concord's downfall. Hulst acknowledged that the advantage of such failures lies in the collective understanding they foster regarding the necessity of robust oversight. While Sony is not abandoning its live service ambitions, Hulst downplayed the significance of previously stated goals for launching a dozen such titles by 2026. His focus has shifted to ensuring a diverse set of player experiences and a set of communities, indicating a move toward quality over quantity. This strategic recalibration comes amidst other industry developments, including the recent departure of the studio head for Fair Game Dollar, another of Sony's upcoming multiplayer projects, following a negative internal review. Beyond Sony, the news cycle is abuzz with other significant industry events. Ubisoft is facing renewed legal scrutiny, with a fresh lawsuit filed by the same plaintiffs involved in a previous sexual harassment case that led to convictions for former executives. CEO Yves Guillemot is slated to testify, though the impact of this new litigation remains to be seen, as Ubisoft reiterates its cooperation with the judicial system. Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed Mirage is set to receive a free story chapter update later this year, expanding its content in Saudi Arabia, a move that follows reports of Ubisoft receiving funding from the Saudi government. In other news, the Nintendo Switch 2's archival strategy is raising concerns, as many third-party games utilize keycards instead of fully containing game data on cartridges, potentially limiting long-term accessibility should servers eventually be decommissioned. Hideo Kojima has confirmed that Death Stranding 2 will be his final entry in the series, though he has already conceptualized a potential sequel. Finally, the immensely popular game Hollow Knight is experiencing a surge in player numbers ahead of its sequel, Silksong, with a recent update addressing bugs and improving compatibility with Valve's Steam Deck, though it also patched a game-breaking exploit. These diverse developments highlight a dynamic industry landscape, where major publishers are actively navigating challenges and adapting their strategies in response to market feedback and evolving player expectations. And that brings us to the end of our major updates for today. What an incredible rundown of news. And that's a wrap on today's essential updates. We covered Sony's strategic pivot following Concord's performance, the evolving live service landscape, the delicate balance between creativity and business at PlayStation Studios, and the hard-won lessons learned over the past year. Don't forget to smash that like button if you found this info valuable. Subscribe to PS5 Nexus for all your daily gaming news. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on these stories, and follow us on all our social media channels for even more content. We'll see you in the next one.